Lesson 7.5 is order of operations. Our objective is to introduce the rules for orders of operations. And so we looked at this just briefly in our last lesson, but we're going to remember this. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. These are the order, this is the order that you need to use when you are solving number sentences. Okay, so parentheses first, exponents, we multiply and divide, and then add and subtract. So let's look at some examples. To begin, you'll start on page 222 in your math journal. We're going to look at a story problem. Robin had asked her friends to figure out how much money she needed to go to the movies. She asked her friends how much 4 plus 5 times 8 is. And Francis and Zach came up with one answer. They said 72. Ann and Rick came up with 44. So you need to figure out, how did they get these different answers? Okay, so 4 plus 5 times 8. If we did that, 4 plus 5, and then multiplied times 8, we know 4 plus 5 is 9, times 8 is 72. So that's probably what Francis and Zach did. How do you think Ann and Rick got 44? Well, what if they were to move the parentheses? So here we did 4 plus 5 times 8, and we said that's 72. What if we move the parentheses a little bit? What if they did the 5 times 8 first? If they did that, then we know 5 times 8 is 40, plus 4 might be where they made their mistake. Okay, but we have to make sure we know who's correct. If we need one ticket for $4, if we read on here, and 5 tickets for $8, who really did it the right way? Who has the right answer here? Okay, so you need to go back and look at what they did and then decide who did it the right way using those parentheses and how can you explain that. So we'll let you figure that part out on your own. Let's take a look at some problems though where you're going to use all of the orders of operations. Okay, we'll start with number 4. So I've got my order of operations here in case I need it. Okay, so in problem number 4, there aren't any parentheses, so I don't have to worry about parentheses. We don't have any exponents, so I don't have to do that. There's not any multiplication, but I do see a division problem, or part of the problem. We have 500 divided by 2. So 500 divided by 2 is 250. Okay, and then I do my addition and subtraction. I always work from left to right. So I have 100 plus 250, and so I can find my answer. Okay, notice we didn't start with 100 and say 100 plus 500 is 600 divided by 2. That would have given us a different answer. Okay, let's take a look at this one next, number 5. Okay, again, we don't have any parentheses, we don't have any exponents, but we do have some multiplication and division. Okay, we've got a couple of them in here. We start with division here and then multiplication. So let's go ahead and work from left to right. 24 divided by 6 is 4. Oh, yep. But I don't want to add that 3 on yet because I still am not finished with my multiplication and division. So I'm going to skip that plus sign for a second. 3 plus 2 is 6. Okay, I've done my division, I've done my multiplication. Now I add and subtract. If I add those together, I get 10. Okay, so make sure you follow each of these as you go through. It's not okay to just skip around and then add a few things and come back later. Okay, you really do need to follow. Ask yourself, are there parentheses? Are there exponents? Have I multiplied and divided? And then